Welcome back to Vision Pros. I am really excited to introduce to you Chris Brown from from Wow Remote Teams in Phoenix. Chris, welcome to the show. I'm really glad to have you here. Would you just introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure, yeah. Hi, Sue. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. I'm Chris. I'm with Wow Remote Teams. Been an entrepreneur for many, many years at this point, most of my life. Just been building businesses, done a lot of tech stuff, done a lot of everything's been internet. Everything's been this focus of like remote work and this idea of independence and freedom. How do you get time independence? How do you get financial independence? And how do you build things that give you that? And yeah, it's all kind of come into this direction of Wow Remote Teams, which does that for a lot of people, right? So we're kind of staffing and recruiting, but we're bringing great talent from Latin America to US companies. It's all remote work. I'm remote. My whole team is remote. My founder is fully remote. We don't have an office. Everything is built on this ethos of how do we make sure that we can be wherever we want to be, living the life we want to be, but making an impact at the same time.
Huge. Man, it's all about that balance, right? It's like one thing to do
Yeah.
great work, but you got to have a life as well. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
you got to be
cool.
able to do stuff you want to do and do things you love to do. And I love to be outside. I hike a lot. We paddleboard a lot. We're constantly outside. I'm from Phoenix, like you said, so summer here is unbearable. So we generally travel the whole summer, wherever that means. So we spend a lot of time, down in Latin America, in Colombia
Mm,
specifically. This summer we went to Montana and did the whole trip from
mm.
Phoenix to Montana and then back, with our RV. So, learning how to manage those things. Again, I've been doing this for a long time now, so I'm pretty good at it. But learning how to manage all those things, learning how to have the setup, learning how to have stable connection, stable, electricity, and how do you make all of that work so that you can work, but how do you work in a way that allows you to do those things you want to do?
Mhm.
It's a lifelong goal. I think it's a lifelong process.
Yeah,
Still
I don't
learning,
think,
of course.
yeah, definitely, definitely. And you're not
Yeah.
alone. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about what's your vision for the people that you're serving?
So I think that's kind of twofold. So we serve clients, of course, people that are looking to hire, remote workers, people from Latin America. So of course they're looking to save money. They're looking for a great talent pool. If you expand outside of your own comfort bubble of your own region and then your own country and then your own, hemisphere, I guess, you just expand that talent pool and you find really great people. So, part of it for the clients is find great people at great prices, find something that you maybe didn't know was there before. I talk to a lot of clients that tell me, I just heard about being able to do this in Latin America. Can you show me what that looks like? And you go, yeah, sure. Look at all these people. My entire team is in Latin America. Everybody you're going to talk to beyond me and my founder are in Latin America, and
Mm.
they're generally going to give you a great experience. And if they don't, please tell me so I can help them and fix it. And then the other side of it, of course, is the candidates, the talent themselves, right? There's this whole base of people that we're serving that aren't the clients. They're the talent. They're the candidates. They're the people that we're employing and bringing into this. They're getting higher wages. They're getting to work in English all day. They're to work with U.S. companies. They're getting to learn the U.S. method of doing business, our capitalist system, which is hugely beneficial to all of us, right? Look at the way we live. We have great lives. This system has worked really well for us. And it's a little bit different of a system for them, for people in Latin America, for people all over the world. We do things a certain way. Americans we're very proactive, very go-getters, very sure that we can do things even when you tell us that we can't. So I think bringing a lot of opportunity to people that didn't previously have that opportunity. This is a new world that we live in.
Mm.
Like I said, I traveled all summer. I was in my RV. I was on my Starlink. I was connected with solar. You couldn't do that 10 years ago. Like you could, but you had to go places that had Wi-Fi. Like it was a struggle. I did it previously, of course. I was traveling. I've been traveling for many years. But it was much more of a struggle. You really needed to understand where you were going. You needed to make sure that the resources were in place for you to go there. And now, just with Starlink, you can go basically anywhere. Like I went to the Amazon a couple years ago. This was 2, 3 years ago now, and I had gone there over a decade ago, just traveling, going to this little place called Leticia. It's the very, very bottom end of Colombia. There's no road to get there. You have to fly because it's literally in the Amazon rainforest on the river. And when I first went there was no connection. It was desolate. Like, great people, there's a lot going on, but you were not connected to the outside world. So it was this great disconnect. Like, you're in this beautiful place. And I went there 2 years ago, and I took a boat down the Amazon from Peru to get there, and I had cell service on the Amazon River on a boat. I got to Leticia, and the hostel, the hostel I was staying at, had Starlink on the roof. I was working from the middle of absolutely nowhere, and I was like, this is not disconnected at all. Like, it was great because I needed to get things done, but it was also not great because I was like,
Right,
I'm going
there
to
it
the Amazon,
was.
I'm going to disconnect, and then my phone's buzzing at me. I'm like, well, I guess I got to
Wow,
work,
that's
So
crazy.
yeah, so you have that across this entire region. Like, all of
Mm.
Latin America is now very connected. So you no longer have to think about, like, okay, I need to go to Bogota, or I need to go to Mexico City and have a call center and have a bunch of people. No, you can have people that are working remotely from some small town, and now you're really having an impact on that
Mm.
person's life. You're having an impact on that person's family. You're having an impact on that entire community, because now they're working for a US company. They're making a way better wage than they would have previously, and they're living in a small town, and in the countryside in Mexico. It's fantastic. The amount of opportunity that is being brought to the rest of the world at this point in 2025 is absolutely incredible. And
Mm.
I'm just a small piece of that. I'm not, but I'm doing my part, I think. So I think that's how we're trying to serve that piece of our business.
That's so cool. Oh, it could really make a huge difference, and the ripple effect of that is crazy big. So
It
that's
does. Yeah, it does every day. I mean,
mm.
there's just tons of stories of, we like, so we help our clients send gifts and stuff because it can be difficult. Like, you want to
Mhm.
order them a pizza for a lunch, or you want to order them flowers. Like, we have one, they wanted to send this girl flowers as part of her birthday gift, and they contact us, and we're like, yeah, sure. We'll call around and find a florist in this small town, and, get them delivered to her and stuff. So we find a florist, and we call the florist, and we're talking to her saying, okay, we're sending it to this person at this address. And she's like, oh, that's my niece. I'm like, what? Like, yeah. So we're sending this, we're employing this lady's aunt at this place. Like, and
Wow.
incredible. Just these crazy knock-on effects that happen. And this happens all over these small communities that we're just becoming a part of, essentially.
It's a small world, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
That's wild. Well, tell me, let's shift gears a little bit. What's your vision for your business for like the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Oh, 3, 6, 9, 3 months is difficult, right? Because we're going into the holidays and hiring really slows down. So it's mostly just taking care of our people, making sure that everybody has good stability and good work. Um, Outside of that, it's this same kind of rolling motion. Hey, we're always looking to grow. We're constantly growing. We're looking for new ways to market. We're looking for new opportunities. We're looking for different sets of clients. Like, we love our clients, of course, but
Mhm.
what else can we do? Where else can we go? How does that look like? There's whole worlds you never even think of. I just spoke to someone who does government contracting, and he was telling me, hey, by the way, there's recruiting contracts out there that for government contracting. Do you guys do that kind of recruiting? It's like, well, I don't know what that kind of recruiting looks like. I've never even heard of that before. So let's go find out. But yeah, we do lots of US recruiting. We do lots of recruiting for US positions as like a contingency headhunter.
Mhm.
So yeah, I can do that. So let's go check that out. Let's grow in that direction if we can. um, but outside of that, it's always, how can we do a better job for our clients? It's always important, but for our people primarily, because if we can elevate our people, our clients will be happier. They'll get
Mm.
better people, they'll get better positions, they'll get better work out of them. So how do we give them better opportunities? How do we add to their education? How do we add to their benefits? What kind of things can we bring that would help them elevate themselves, whether that helps them with our client, or whether that helps them find a better position in the future, whatever that looks like. What can we do better every single day, or every month, or
Mhm.
every year, in order to increase the benefit of what we're doing, with that same goal that we talked about at the beginning, right? How do I increase people's level of autonomy and freedom?
Mhm.
How do I allow people to do similar to what I'm trying to do? Like that,
Mhm.
everybody that works for us, everybody that works with us, they're all fully remote. We don't have a location anywhere. I'm sitting in my home office. Like, there's nowhere that anybody has to show up to, but they have to work. They have to do their job. They have to be proactive and get after it. And in order to do that, you have to facilitate them knowing what is possible. right? So you're looking, this is getting a bit long-winded, but you're looking for people with that same kind of mentality. Do you want to get after it so that you can do whatever it is you want to do? If that's you, then yeah, let's do this. You come join our team, be part of this, and come work with our clients. And and same thing for the clients. Are you looking for people that have that kind of hunger, that have that kind of, they want to go get it so that they can do all the things they want to do? Like, that's exciting to a lot of people. Not everybody likes it, but it's okay.
Well, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but
yeah, I don't need to be.
No, absolutely. So let me ask you this, when you built this, there was something burning in your gut. You're like, I got to do this. Why do you care?
Same thing. It's just, this is the means to the end currently. And it's a way to expand that idea for a lot of people. So it started because I was in another business, and the founder of this company started this and came to me and was like, hey, I was having trouble with my CSR team in an e-commerce business that I had. And they were all based in the US, and they were good people. They're expensive, and, they're having problems with it. It wasn't working as well as I wanted it to for the cost of it, essentially. Running a business is capital management. Good capital management begets more capital, essentially. The better you are at good capital management, the more capital that's going to flow to you. So, trying to figure out, how do we do this better? How do we find a better way to progress with this? And then I talked to the founder of this company, and she said, why don't you try some Latin American people? Okay, that sounds fine to me. Let's see. Let's, set up some interviews. Let's talk to them, see where they come in. And within, I don't know, a few months, 3-6 months, something like that, we had replaced the entire CSR team with people from Latin America. The entire thing was remote work from Latin America. It fit perfectly with our ethos, which is the same that I have now. How do I build this so that I don't have to be in the warehouse every day? At that point, that company had a warehouse because it was an e-commerce medical supplies business. And then everything else also became Latin America. So the developers became Latin America. The operations people became Latin America. The only people left in the US had to be there because we had a physical warehouse to run, and we couldn't do that remote at that time.
Heck of a commute.
You might be able to now with, drones and robotic forklifts and stuff, but you still need somebody has to be in a warehouse. It's just how warehouses work. And then I came out of that business that kind of spun down for us. And then I came over, I was talking to her again, and she was like, hey, why don't you come help build the systems over here? Because I've been a tech guy in every other business. I was the tech guy, and I did. And so I came over and started building that. And then it was like, hey, you're pretty good at talking to people. Have you ever thought about getting on the phone and trying to talk to people? And I was like, no, I'm the tech guy. I'm not getting on the phone with anybody. What are you talking about? And it turns out that people like talking to me for some reason. So I end up on the phone a lot talking to people.
That's so funny.
So it just, it rolled into this thing. And then it's like, well, as you do that, you start to talk to more and more clients, and you start to bring on more and more talent, and you just see that it is just a great fit. Like, it's what you're trying to do. It's giving remote work. It's bringing opportunity to people. It's bettering US businesses. We're bringing a huge talent pool at better prices. Like, it's just, everybody's benefiting when it's the right match. That doesn't mean it's always the right match. It doesn't mean I can benefit you today, but if you need the kind of talent that I can find you, if you need fully remote people, this can be a good match. If people are looking for a job, if they speak good English, if they're looking for the next level opportunity, that can be a great match. And when you bring those things together, you're making a huge difference, and it's just awesome to watch.
That is so cool. Yeah. I mean, I could see this is, when you think about that ripple effect, that'll wake you up in the morning, get you going.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I mean, many friends from it now. He's like, people that used to work with us, they don't work with us anymore. They have some other job, but they still contact us and talk to us and tell us what they're doing. And, we're still in contact with everybody, of course, because we have to use our network to say, hey, by the way, we have this new position open. So we maintain contact with thousands of people at this point, and it's a huge effect. It's wild, amazing. And to watch them grow, like part of our whole thing is just, we do long-term ongoing positions. I want the longest possible position I can get. I want to staff people that are very stable, looking for clients who are looking for long-term. Like, we don't do projects, we don't do freelance, we do long-term stable stuff. And to watch that happen, to watch people go from like, you know, a social media assistant to director of marketing over the course of 5 years. And you're like,
Wow.
how did you make that advance? You know, it's wild. And that one stands out because that's a huge chunk, but still so many, just, you know, constant emails coming in of, hey, we need to give this person a raise and we need to bump them up. And also we need to backfill that position because now we don't have somebody doing email management or schedule management or whatever
Mhm.
that piece was. Okay, great. You know, that
Mhm.
person gets to grow. Now they get to manage the next level of person that's going to come in, and it just rolls and rolls and rolls. It's awesome. It's great to watch.
That's so cool. Well, I love that. I
Yeah.
think that's a fantastic, everything about that is really cool. The opportunities you're creating and the way that you're able to serve your clients as well. So, well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself.